Plato's Symposium describes the origin of love. Essentially, the gist of it is that humanity at one time was composed of three genders, which were composed of the two genders that we are now, each joined at the back. So I don't even know how to explain this quickly, but so one gender is male and female, back to back, 4 arms, 4 legs, 2 heads, right? One gender is male-male, one gender is female-female, same deal for both of those. And the gods got angry at them because they were stronger than the gods, or at least could oppose the gods in some way, so they split them in two. And this is the origin of love, humanity trying to bring itself back together. This is my take on that myth. The title of it is Dancing I and You. Yearning to sea, 4-armed and legged, we cartwheeled over great distances. We tumbled magnificently, we two dancing as one. Heads joined at the back, we yearned to see each other, and so turned and turned, facing always empty space. From the corner of my eye once, kneeling over the ocean, I glimpsed your reflection between flares of sunlight. When I called your attention to the water, you began to pull in your excitement, trying to face me, to get more of me. But I too needed more of you and pulled. Screaming agony and desperation, we damn near tore ourselves in two that day. Could have done the gods' work for them, left ourselves a pile of flesh and gore, organs spilling from our split backs. But soon we collapsed from pain, the flesh between us wailing. So we dragged ourselves across the shore, toward cool grass, and slept, mirrors of ourselves, before a hawthorn tree. When we woke, bodies still throbbing, we found ourselves elsewhere, and lying again on hot sand. Air around us fluttered in shifting heat. Cool grass and ocean gone, the ground beneath us burned fiercely, unbearably. So we dug and threw up sand from the hole, 2-4 handfuls at a time. The shallow depths were damp and cool to touch, but in the deep, deep, earth grew hot and dense. Molten sand bubbled up around us. In the cool higher up, we dug ourselves a place to lie. When pain finally left our body, we found the molten sand had cooled solid and clear. Glass, we called it, and carried armfuls back to the surface. Dropping them to the ground, we saw ourselves in them as in water. We gathered more and built for them a home. We plastered them to walls of mud and stone, cast rooms in our images infinite, beautiful. But when we reached to touch each other's parts, we couldn't. When we tried to embrace, our bodies only ached the more. When we looked at Gemini and felt only the space between pounds of body, the stars, we dropped to the floor and keened for weeks. Pounds of body between us felt heavy as stone. We took turns holding up what we no longer have to hold. Each wept when the other held. We starved ourselves of food and sleep. Prayers stuck in our throats. Our own body, sprawled out, grotesque, in our house of mirrors, became an offering to each other, and the gods grew jealous of our love. The sky thundered our home to rubble. The sun baked our flesh, and the father eagle waited to feed upon our husk for days. But we wouldn't die, so in a fury it clove us into you and I. We lay for days, the sun baking our bodies pregnant with heat. Out of your back emerged a horse, miles of pink hanging from it. Out of mine, a stag, intestines coiled round its antlers. The horse carried us to one another, the stag away. This, they say, is our punishment. But the long desire pulls us close, and today I see you and you I. We dance 2-4, facing each the other, hands clasped, necks open for noses to breathe, bones and body, sweet sweat. If I'm still part of you, then I'm a bone, your tail, small and benign, devolved to a stub, aching for balance. aching with desire to touch your clavicle and bite gently into your apple. But what are bones to what I am and you are? In your onyx pupils, a reflection I've seen just once and avoided ever since. The image curved and bent toward me, pulled me in close till I fell over your slate iris and into my bold black image, lost in a darkness deep as that glassy hole, lost in the deep black in self. You came on your horse, my Iconia, delivered me from the black depths of I. These days, I keep to whites and slates, to flesh, bone, muscle, sinew, to mane and boobs. I find pieces of you scattered over the bed, my Mayflower, my hawthorn, gate of return to that old house of mirrors, that other world where you I touched at such close separation, where we keened the night in grotesque union. But now we come together at our whims, braid arms and legs 2-4, wrap ourselves in hair, weave together our torsos. We sway to our heartbeats, we dance to the sounds of our walking 2-4-2-4, and we glide those damp rhythms with our tongues.